Are you thinking about getting a motor scooter? You're not alone. But before you make the purchase, you might be wondering how long the battery will last. How long does a motor scooter battery last? In most cases, a motor scooter battery will last between 2 and 4 years. Of course, this depends on a variety of factors, including the make and model of the scooter, the weight of the rider, the climate, and how often the battery is used. Generally speaking, a lithium-ion battery will last longer than a lead-acid battery, and if you're lucky enough to live in a temperate climate, you may not need to use your battery very often at all. But if you plan on using your scooter frequently, or if you live in a colder climate, you'll probably need to replace the battery more often, and keep in mind that batteries are not cheap. Factors that affect the lifespan of a scooter battery. There are a number of factors that can affect the lifespan of a motor scooter battery. Some of the most important factors include the make and model of the scooter, the weight of the rider, the climate, how often the battery is used, type of battery, lithium-ion versus lead-acid, and storage conditions. Let's break it down. Number 1. The make and model of the scooter. One of the most important factors that affect the lifespan of a scooter battery is the make and model of the scooter. Some batteries are designed for more heavy-duty use than others and will last longer as a result. This means that if you're looking for a scooter that has a long battery life, you'll need to do your research and find one that is specifically designed for extended use. Number 2. The weight of the rider. Another important factor that affects battery life is the weight of the rider. Heavier riders will drain the battery faster than lighter riders. This is because a heavier rider puts more strain on the battery, which can cause the battery to wear out more quickly. Number 3. The climate. Another important factor that affects battery life is the climate. If you live in a hot climate, the battery will not last as long as it would if you lived in a cooler climate. This is because high temperatures can accelerate the degradation of the battery, and if you live in a cold climate, the battery will not last as long as it would if you lived in a warm climate. Number 4. How often the battery is used. The more often you use the battery, the sooner it will wear out. This is because batteries degrade over time, and using them frequently will accelerate the process. This means that if you use your battery often, you will need to replace it more often than if you only use it sporadically. Number 5. Type of battery. Lithium-ion versus lead-acid. The type of battery also affects the lifespan of the scooter battery. Lithium-ion batteries typically last longer than lead-acid batteries. This is because lithium-ion batteries are more durable and have a longer lifespan than lead-acid batteries. Number 6. Storage conditions. The way you store your battery can also affect how long it lasts. If you store the battery in a cool, dry place, it will last longer than if you store it in a hot, humid place. So if you want your battery to last as long as possible, be sure to store it in a cool, dry place. How can you tell when your motor scooter battery needs to be replaced? When your motor scooter battery is not holding a charge like it used to, it is time for a replacement. A battery that doesn't last as long as it used to can be frustrating and can cause you to miss out on opportunities to ride your scooter. There are a few ways that you can tell if your battery is dying on you. It will be harder to start your scooter. The headlight will be dimmer. The scooter will run slower. Number 1. It will be harder to start your scooter. One of the signs that your battery needs to be replaced is if it is hard to start your scooter. If you have to try more than once, or if you have to use the Kickstarter, then the battery might need to be replaced. This means that you might not be able to ride your scooter when you want to, and it can be a huge inconvenience. Number 2. The headlight will be dimmer. Another sign that your battery might need to be replaced is if the headlight is dimmer than it used to be. If the light is not as bright as it used to be, then the battery might not be holding a charge like it used to. This means that you might not be able to see as well when you are riding at night, which can be dangerous. Number 3. The scooter will run slower. If the scooter is running slower than it used to, that might be a sign that the battery needs to be replaced. This means that you might not be able to get to your destination as quickly as you would like. Number 4. It will be harder to charge. If the battery is harder to charge, that might be a sign that it is time for a replacement. When the battery doesn't hold a charge as well as it used to, it can be hard to get it to full power. This means that you might not be able to ride your scooter as often as you would like. When you start noticing any of these signs, it is time to replace the battery. A new battery can give you the peace of mind that you need to ride your scooter when and where you want to. Conclusion. In general, a scooter battery will last between 2 and 4 years, but this depends on a variety of factors, including the make and model of the scooter, the weight of the rider, the climate, and how often the battery is used. Lithium-ion batteries typically last longer than lead-acid batteries, and if you store the battery in a cool, dry place, it will last longer than if you store it in a hot, humid place. So be sure to keep these things in mind when choosing a scooter battery. And remember, batteries are not cheap, so it's important to choose one that will last as long as possible.